Hello everyone, today we will continue our journey together to learn programming without coding technology. In our previous lesson, we learned about using functions and how we can call a function and how we can define a new function. And we have seen some of the examples about this. Also, we learned why we may need to define a function to avoid repeating ourselves and reduce the amount of code and have a small program that can be modified in an easy way. And we have seen this in the counter example. Today I would like to explain how to return output from a function. So at first let us start by creating a simple program that sums the numbers inside a list. Using the assignment component, I will define a list called a list, and this list will contain some numbers like say 3, 7, 8, 10, 11, like this. And then I will use a for loop to sum the numbers inside this list. And I will store the output inside a variable called inSum, and the value will be 0 in the start. So let us use a for in loop like this, where we will access each item inside the A list, and inside this loop we will modify the inSum value to be the value plus our variable t, like this. We can write it using the assignment component, or we can just write inSum plus equal t, like this, and we will get the same result. It is your choice. So for now, after this list, we will have the sum inside this number, and we can print the sum like this. And we print an expression which is in some variable. Now run this program, we will get 39 as the result of summing the list numbers. If we increased or changed 3 to 4 like this, we will get 40. So we now know how to write a program or create a program that sums the numbers inside a list. What if I want to do the same process for another list? Like say I will have a list 2, and this list will contain numbers from 1 to 10, like this. If I want to do the same operation, I may just copy paste like this, which is not ideal way to create a program. And we may prefer to use a function, as we will do. But let us see now the result. Now look at this. I created a list from 1 to 10, and it says the sum is 40. What if I say the list? Oh, look at this. The list is called a list 2, while the loop uses a list. This is a mistake that we have from copy and paste operation. So if we change the list like this, it will work as we expected, and we will get 55. So what is the lesson learned here? Copy and paste are a source of errors. It is not just that we have a long program, but also we may have mistakes because of this process. Using functions decrease the size of the program and also reduce mistakes that we may have in long programs. So let us now move to our second part, and this time we will create a function to sum a list. So let us define function, and we call it sum list, and this function will take parameters which is our list like this. Inside this function, we will define the InSum variable, and we will use the for loop like this, for in loop, and we will add the value to InSum like this. After that, when we sum the list, we can return the output using the return component. What we will return? We will return the sum stored in sum variable. Now, let us try using this list. I will define a list called myList, which will contain the numbers from 1 to 10. Then I will use the print component, and I will use SumList, and I will pass my list like this, and I will print the result as expression. Now run, and I will get the expected result. If I want to define another list, like say my list equal 1, 10, 11, like this, and I will copy this instruction here, and I will pass the same list, which is my list. I can run now and see the result, 22. So what we learned today? We learned that we can return an output from a function using the return component. So we created a function to sum a list, and we used this function to get the result of two lists. We can create a program that asks the user to enter some numbers and store these numbers inside the list. Then we print the sum using the SumList function. So we can do this like that. We will use a while loop, or like say do while loop, do again, and the condition will be number in num not equal 0, like this. And we will define this number using the assignment component, and we will say in num equal 0 in the start. We have this choice, or we can just get the input from the user and store it inside this variable, where we don't need to declare this. We just print a message, enter a number like this. Then using get input, we will get the number inside in num, and we will convert it to number. If the user enters 0, then we exit from the loop. And before the start of the loop, we will set my list to be an empty list like this. We don't have any items, just an empty list. And now after we get the number, we can add it to the list using add item component. We will add the value, which is in num, to our list. Okay, this loop will get the numbers. Then we can print the sum using SumList function and the print component, and we just print my list. So let us run this program. It is asking for a number. I will enter 10, then I will enter 20, then I will enter 30, then I will enter just 0, and I get the sum, which is 60. So we learned today how to return a value from the function, and how to add an item to a list using the add item component. Also, we learned how it is important to use functions, not just to reduce the size of the program, but also to make it easy to understand and reduce the errors. Thank you very much, and see you in next time.